Hey guys, it's Maven, and welcome back to another video. For today's video, I'm going to be showing off yet again another one of my latest MOCs. This time it's going to be the Grand Tumbler. So once again, this is another armament vehicle for my Knight Battle Mech line. As you can see, this is a vehicle that's mostly black and white with a little bit of some gray accents. Now, as you can see, this vehicle has 4 big wheels and this little tail at the very end, and we'll get to that in a sec. Now, as you can see, there are some these pieces right here that resembles kind of like guns, so that's a little bit of a nice touch. And as we can see, there are 2 separate cockpits that we'll go over in just a sec. Now, with that out of the way, let's just start scaling this with a standard minifigure. If I can stand it upright. As you can see, this thing is much bigger than your average minifigure. So with that out of the way, we can just scale off with the Knight Battle Mech right here. And we can see this is almost reaching the same height. Before we start showing off the separate features this vehicle has to offer, we might as well just show off the other size comparisons with the other armament vehicles we have so far. To start off, here is the Skyfighter back again. As you can see, just because how flat this is makes it very short. However, the width, it's actually much wider right here. Next up, the Magma Shuttle right here. And yeah, as you can see, this thing is longer than the Grand Tumbler, but without the weapon, we can see that even the flames makes it much longer still. And last but not least, we still have the Land Dozer right here. Another ground vehicle, just like the Grand Tumbler. As you can see, this thing is still like much smaller than the Grand Tumbler itself. So with that out of the way, let's start deconstructing it and show you what this thing has to offer. Okay, so here we have the Grand Tumbler. In this case, this is the bottom portion of it. And as you can see, this is just supposed to be a massive big car. Now, there's pretty much not a lot to talk about it right here. As you can see, here's just pretty much what remains from the backside and from the bottom. And as we can see, here is just the window screen right here, and a little piece pop off, but that's okay. We can just put it back on right here. And there's pretty much not to talk about in the center right here, except this is just a big hole where the top portion of the vehicle was. But for more detail, when we flip it under, there's pretty much nothing to talk about right here. So with that out of the way, let's just assemble the top part. So what I meant by assemble was that all of these extra parts that was removed from the bottom portion of the Grand Tumbler, they actually form a separate vehicle. In this case, it's going to be a little bit of a different jet, just kind of like the Skyfighter and the Magma Shuttle. So to start off, we're just going to take this middle section right here, and we're just going to take these wing bits, attach them on right there on either side. Take this axle port, and actually before we attach this, I'll just attach that later on, but right now we're just going to take this little disc right here and just attach it in the front. So there we go. Yeah, so the reason why I didn't attach this axle piece on just yet was that because if I were to attach it right now, this thing wouldn't stay on a flat surface. Just to show a perfect example, I'm just going to attach this on right now, just like that. And then if I just put it right there, it's just going to fall off. So I'm just going to put that on a little bit later. So yeah, here we have the flying portion of the Grand Tumbler right here. And it's pretty nice. I like it. I like how it retains the 2 guns at front. And I like how it gives a little bit more of a different feel of the vehicle itself. Now when we attach this disc piece right here, this portion in the center is actually a disc shooter. So right under here you can see this little trigger button right here. All I have to do is just pretty much push on it from behind, and the disc itself will start to fly off. So I'm just gonna stop talking right now, and because right now it's pretty much the best time to start deconstructing this portion again. Yeah, deconstruct, so there's more of that, and create this as the new armor for Knight Battle Mech. And one last thing before we armor this thing up is that we're gonna have to remove the shield and the flick fire missiles from the either side of the wrist. So now with that out of the way, I'm just going to do a quick time lapse of deconstructing this. I'm not gonna bother talking about which armament is which, and just start building the armor for this figure. Okay, so here we have all the armaments from the jet portion attached onto the Knight Battle Mech. And as we can see, it's a little bit of the combination of the Skyfighter and the Landozer. Specifically, the wings and the guns makes it like the two of them have become one. And as you can see, it still retains all the jet parts and the color scheme of black and white. However, I still like that there's a little bit of blue coming out, especially from where the legs are, and as well as a little bit from the chest. Now, when we turn to the side right here, we can see that the shooting portion of where it fires the discs is right here mounted on the arm. So that was where that axle port went. So you could still access the disc shooter right there, as well as the other flick fire missiles. But however, I just really don't want to do that because I don't want to send them flying off across the area. Now, before we move on, I just want to say that, especially in this combinations, these two weapons right here, they're actually very top heavy. So if I try to pick it up, this figure will just like start falling down. So yeah, that's a little bit of a disappointment, but I don't think that's really holding me back from why I like this. So I might as well stop talking about this portion of the combination where the jet comes into play. Now let's talk about the four-wheeled vehicle, specifically the bottom vehicle, or should I just call it? Let's just start talking about the car portion of the Grand Tumbler. Okay, so for the car portion for the Grand Tumbler, this is not really an armament vehicle specifically. This is just one gigantic shell. So yeah, that's a little bit of a disappointment right there. So yeah, you cannot really combine this with the Knight Battle Mech whatsoever, but this does have some like special features which we'll get to in a sec. So yeah, I probably should stop rambling about it and might as well just show you what I mean. So this portion does have some removable parts in order to make the armaments of the other vehicles I showed much bigger and a little bit stronger. Now, to show off what I mean, we're first going to remove this back piece right here. And we're going to go underneath, and we're just going to remove these two pieces right here. So overall, this is just what's get tossed out. But however, I just still like it because of it holding all the extra accessories. So we might as well just bring in the rest of the pieces over. Might as well start with the wing bits, and I'm just gonna let these go off to the side. And we can bring in just this piece right here. And for these are a little bit optional whether or not if you want to like attach them back on the mech. But however, we're just gonna leave them off to the side just for space and to control the weight of the mech itself. Now, this piece, the crotch plate, this one's also gonna get tossed out as well, and you'll see why. And now we're just gonna take in this piece that we pulled off from the back, and we're gonna start creating a new chest plate, where this piece was the new chest plate, or it used to be the chest plate. Now it's gonna become the new crotch plate. So we're just gonna turn this around. Next, we're just gonna take these big wing pieces where they were the shoulder pads, and we're just gonna attach them right to either side of these two studs, just like that. And here we go. So we can just bring in the mech back again, attach a new crotch plate, attach a new chest plate, and attach the new shoulder pads right on either side. So yeah, here we go. Now I would say I love what I'm seeing right here because I like how it changes these pieces that used to be the shoulder pads, now it's the chest plate. This looks fantastic. I'm just speechless right now. So yeah, we could just turn this around, and of course there'll be nothing. I mean, still, you could just use this piece right here to attach it to the back, but we're just gonna save some time not doing that. Now, as I said, you can still use these as the weapons, but they're just pretty much the same as the previous one before, so we're not gonna bother to attach that. So, not only the jet was the only one that could be changed with all the extra armaments that the bottom vehicle has to offer, so does these 3 vehicles right here that I showed off on my latest videos. So yeah, I'm just gonna bring all of them right here. So I'm just gonna go to a quick cut and just show a little bit of a photo finish of what do all 3 of these look like on here one at a time, and I'll talk to you in a quick sec. So overall, the Grand Tumbler is a great armament vehicle for me to have in the Night Battle Mech line. However, the bottom portion of the vehicle doesn't really form any armaments except just to carry the armaments on the top. But regardless of that flaw, I say this is a great contribution to have into my series that I'm having. So that's pretty much it. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys again in my next video.